Hello and welcome. I am the Urban Animist, and I'm here to bring you a guide to the unknown and the unseen. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded or made a video, and that is about to end. I say that every time, but I've got an important set of videos that I need to get out there and that I need people to see. Right now, our world is going through a change, and it is physical and spiritual. There is something going on, and I have an idea, but I'm not going to say it. So, yesterday, I was given what you can call divine inspiration, but I had been thinking about this term, which is the beings of the boundaries, for a very long time. Now, in this first video, I am going to describe and explain what and who the beings of the boundaries are, and give you a little bit of information about the videos to come. I mean, I won't tell you, but it'll be in this video. So this will give you a foundation on which to take hold, and so you'll understand what I'm talking about and what I mean by when I say beings of the boundaries and who and what they are. Okay? Beings of the boundaries. Who and what we are. What I call beings of the boundaries are those few of us that walk on the lines of reality and the other realms. We understand the importance of honoring the nature and spirits around us, for we never know when we will have to work with them or against them. Not always, but most of us who are beings of the boundaries are outside of duality, for we walk between worlds. We are intermediaries between the gods and spirits and humanity. We have been called many, many things. Seers, oracles, shamans, wizards, witches, cunning folk, and much, much more. There is an underlying goal we all share as well. We travel to different realms and commune with the spirits there to bring back solutions and knowledge that will aid us and our tribes and our communities. And this knowledge, in turn, helps us and them heal and grow. Now, being a being of the boundaries does not mean that we must live a secluded life of the hermit. Nor does it mean we must give up worldly possessions and personal connections. This may have been the case for our ancestors in ages past, but we live in a modern and mostly urbanized world, so this kind of thinking can be counterproductive and can actually hamper your journey and your progression. Now, animism is a very important part of being a being of the boundaries, and with animism, we understand the sacred spirits that inhabit all things, man-made and natural. There are also those who are meant to be a being of the boundary, but they do not know where to start, or they don't know or believe in the reality and the truth of the spiritual part of our reality. And this can lead to believing oneself to be going crazy and to start thinking that you are falling into psychosis. Note, I am not in any way saying psychological problems are not real, okay? Thinking you've fallen into a psychotic episode and actually being in one are two completely different things. The reason that I believe we think and believe ourselves crazy or insane, and we say that we must be quote unquote losing it, is because in our modern times, we are raised and conditioned to ignore and deny the spirits in the realms that are around us, especially if you live in a Western country. I call this the age of non-belief and disconnection, and the age we are in right now, the age of steel. For there is no malleability, and it is an age of cold, unyielding, and forced conformity to a worldview where only the things that we can touch, see, and measure are real. In this, the age of steel, any thoughts of magic and spirit are dismissed quickly, and those of us that know the truth of reality are laughed at. This is where perfectly sane people get told they are crazy and sometimes even get institutionalized. Because of this, people who would be a being of the boundary never actualize their true potential. They avoid all things not backed by science, and sometimes they even become the biggest opposition to all things magical and spiritual. in the West, we've only been in the Age of Steel for maybe 1,000 years. But even then, not everyone had fully entered the Age of Steel. We have only been pushed fully into this age within the last 300 to 400 years. Before we were inducted into this cold Age of Steel, we had been in the Age of Iron, where the people who tried to repress us worked on us until our beliefs, knowledge, and understandings and spiritual practices dissolved and disappeared, just as iron can dissolve from the rust that forms over it from water. After a long time, iron rusts, but iron rusts and the rust will dissolve the iron. So this is what happened to us. Now, the Age of Iron was overlapping the Age of Steel and the age before the Age of Steel and the Age of Iron. Now, the age before steel and iron, I call the Age of Gold and Silver. I call it such because this is when we knew the connections to the material and the spiritual realms. We knew the magic of nature and the moon and sun. Our worldview was more flexible and open, and because of this, we understood our purpose and place in this world and in our own tribes and societies. In the Age of Gold and Silver, the people like us were revered, honored, and at times feared because of our abilities and connections with the spirits and gods. In our current Age of Steel, we are misunderstood, repressed, and deeply disliked and feared. Our strength and power are feared and were feared by those who rule and ruled over the common people. So they destroyed our histories, tradition, and knowledge, and they killed us for keeping the balance between human and spirit beings and other realms. And that ends the first video in a new series termed Being of the Boundaries. I hope that this has given you some new information or understanding, and that it helps you on your own personal path. Now, I would like to say one thing. I believe that hard facts, or not hard facts, but occult and metaphysical things that we have now that were written down and passed along are important. But I do believe unverified personal gnosis is very important as well. Because when you can compare your notes and your experiences to others, and they've had the same experiences, that to me becomes a verified personal gnosis, or information verified that's been given from the gods or spirits. But anyways, I am the Urban Animist. I hope that I have illuminated some part of the unknown and the unseen for you today, and I will talk to you soon. I hope you enjoy.